Tales from the Crypt. Look, quite some time ago, we got a call from an owner who had a home that had been rented out through a property manager. It wasn't us. And the tenants had just disappeared. And so he sort of said, I'm sick of being a landlord. I just want to put it on the market, sell it, and move on. So we met him there at this house. And it's the first time he's seen it for probably about 4 or 5 years. Obviously, the first time we saw it. So we're walking through the home, and it's quite a nice home in nice suburbia. And we get to the middle of the house, and to explain this house, the way it was designed, it had a room in the middle that was basically landlocked, so there wasn't any windows on it. But here's the interesting thing. I walk into this room, and it's not 1 or 2 power points. There's like a bank of 6 to 8 power outlets about every 3 feet in this whole room. And I've asked the guy, I said, why is there all these power outlets here? And he said, I don't know. I had a request from the tenant a couple of years ago, asked if they could put a couple of power points in. I said, sure, fine, get it done properly, not a problem. I had no idea it was this many. I'm going, this is unusual. Were they being innocent, mining Bitcoin or something? Because that was a thing back then when we saw the home. It really came to light a bit more when the owner, who was a tradie, went into the roof to check out a few things, and he found all these basically packs of marijuana drying, being ready for sell, who knows, no idea. Now that brings a whole lot of other problems which I won't go into, but it was obviously that this middle room or this house is being used as a grow house. But that's not the funny part, or even the unusual part. It was when I was out the front and I was looking at other parts of the home, and this elderly neighbour, and this little old lady, she was lovely, she was probably like 85, almost 90, comes over and says, oh, dearie, you're looking at selling. Oh, yes. And I said, yes, we are. And she goes, that's a shame. Oh, those boys were so nice. And I went, did you know that they were selling marijuana out of this? And she goes, oh, yeah. And I went, you knew about that? She goes, oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I said, you didn't have any problems? She goes, oh, they were great boys. They kept to themselves and mowed my lawn every week without fail for free. I said, okay. And so that is really how you get around this. So the little old lady thought they were great because she mowed their lawns. I made a joke about, well, they knew a lot about grass over her head, but nonetheless, interesting things that do happen.